Jay. Now, I got to tell y'all something. I came all the way from Alabama to show some love. Be seated for 1 second. Let me talk to you for a second, please. How many of y'all have ever heard of a thing called ADD? Look at all y'all. Look at all y'all. How many of y'all got the one step further? It's not ADD, but it's ADHD. People just jump. Now, how many of y'all, my mom used to tell me all the time, when I was in school, I went through 7 different schools. I got expelled quite often. And by the 10th grade, I used to ask my mom, there was a certain class I had to go to. It was called for the learning disability students. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? We couldn't read as fast as everybody else. We couldn't understand what we were talking about. It was just a little bit slower than everybody else. And my mom would always say, Matt, I'd say, Mom, why do I got to go to school during the summertime? And she'd say, because you're special. God thinks you're special, Matt. How many of you believe you're special out there also? Yeah, amen. 10th grade, I'll never forget it. I was in a class and I was in a lunchroom and one of my friends dared me. How many of y'all like wrestling? Anybody ever watched wrestling before? Like UCF crazy stuff? I watched this guy jump off a table one time and he landed on somebody and it looked really cool on television. And so I was ADD and I was sitting at the table and this kid was running down there by the mats and something told me, man, why don't you run during the lunchroom and run off the table and jump on top of him? And I ran and jumped off the table, and when I landed on him, I heard something snap in half. And it was his arm. The paramedics came and they grabbed him out. And then later on that day, I had another bright idea. I was already past my demerits. I knew I was going to get expelled. And there was a kid that was walking down the hall. How many of y'all ever seen that little game where you could get behind somebody like this right here, and they'd be standing right here, and one of your friends would push them, they'd just fall over. They would just fall over, and everybody'd laugh, and it'd be funny. That's it. Well, not this day. This guy was standing in the hallway, and my buddy said, push him. I didn't want to because I knew I was already in trouble, but something said, push him, and I pushed him, and when I did, the back of his head caught the corner of the lockers, and it split his head open, and the principal came that day and said, Matt, it's time for you to go. This was by the 10th grade. I was expelled. This is my 7th school. I got in trouble. And I remember my mom coming. She was crying. And how many of y'all got like a mom who loves Jesus? Anybody got a mom who loves Jesus? Aren't you thankful for your Jesus-freak mom? Come on, say yeah. Say yeah. Now, my mom was crazy, though. You got Jesus freaks, and then you got freaks for Jesus. Does that make sense? My mom would walk up to me and my friends. We'd be sitting in the living room, and I'd be hanging out trying to watch television or something. My mom, we weren't allowed to watch the Smurfs. We weren't allowed to watch anything. My mom was a holy roller. Come on, somebody say yeah. And so I would sit there. I remember sitting in college and stuff. My mom would walk in. She'd be praying. She'd walk up to me and my friends. She'd look at us like, I was like, man, what's up? What's she about to do? I never knew what she was about to do. And she'd walk up to us. She'd be like, I'll cover him in the blood of Jesus. I look at my friends. I'm like, man, she smokes a lot of pot, dude. I don't know if she's